The 76ers made a statement in their last game, blowing out the Lakers in a 44-point win. If you took a look at the box score, you'd see that Joel Embiid had his first triple-double of the year. And while that's impressive, I don't think it quite does this game justice, because Anthony Davis and the Lakers tried so many different coverages, and the reigning MVP completely dissected them like a basketball surgeon. The Lakers made it clear right away that they were going to double Joel every single time he touched the ball inside the arc. And it's not just that he was willing to pass and counter that added attention, but he was anticipating and making all of the right reads to pick them apart in these spots. Take this one for example. As soon as Embiid gets that mid-post entry, Max Christie's going to come over to double, and by simply kicking it right back out, all of a sudden the best shooter on your team has a quality look from three. Now, these aren't always going to end in assists. Like here, that double comes, and the weak side defender is going to rotate over to take away Maxey. So the only real option is to skip it over to Batum on the opposite wing, who makes a quick extra pass to Melton up top. No assist for Joel on the open three, but it all started with that initial advantage. Because he's not the best playmaker on the planet, there are still some instances of him missing open teammates. This time when he draws two, he turns and rises for one of his patented fall-away jumpers. And I think a higher level passer would audible out of the shot and hit Batum on the cut. But he just doesn't see that. With that said, he continues to improve with every season and didn't miss much against LA, even throwing in some manipulation. Notice how he hooks his arm to fake the pass to a cutter, which pulls Christian Wood away from the perimeter and leaves Covington on an island as he steps into a warm-up jumper that just misses. It actually got to a point where the Lakers were so hellbent on not letting him touch the ball that the entry passer's defender was dropping back to deny him. That doesn't mean he's out of the play though, because when it gets moved to Harris for a spot up three, guess who's crashing the offensive glass for a second chance opportunity and getting himself some free throws? We saw the exact same thing when the Lakers tried throwing out a zone late in the first quarter. In this setup, AD's forced to defend a shooter on the wing, with Jackson Hayes contesting Harris's mid-range jumper, meaning that it's D'Angelo Russell who holds the task of keeping Joel off the glass. Needless to say, that didn't go so well. Here's another example where LA's in that zone, and by getting it to Joel on an open side of the floor, they have to make a choice of whether or not they leave him in single coverage. Ultimately, Taurean Prince comes over to double, meaning AD's forced to cover two players. By faking a skip to the opposite corner, he's able to freeze Davis for just a moment, and that leaves Marcus Morris with a high quality shot. During this time, when the Lakers went to man coverage, they threw Davis on Beverly so that he could serve as a roamer behind the play. That left Jackson Hayes on Embiid, and once again, that's just too much of a mismatch down low for the reigning MVP. With the Lakers placing a heavy emphasis on preventing Philly from running their offense through Joel in the middle, a lot of their shot creation started on the perimeter, in the two-man game with Tyrese Maxey. They really like going to these quick give-and-go handoffs to get Maxey speed attacking downhill. And when his lane gets taken away, he's more than comfortable stepping back into a jumper. Here it is again, except this time Joel recognizes that Christie's chasing over the top. So instead of handing it off, he holds for an extra second, then bounces it to Maxey on a cut, and just like that, he's left with a wide open lay. Maybe a little bit too open. The reason this two-man game is so lethal is that in addition to Maxey's brilliance, Joel demands constant attention as a screener. Notice how Jackson Hayes is hesitant to slide over because he doesn't want to leave the big man, and that's just way too much room on a midi. And here it is one more time, except not a handoff, but a ball screen for Joel to come off with a live dribble. And he's going to draw an extra defender, leaving Maxey with some space on the wing to fire off another three. The reason Embiid demands attention like that on the perimeter is that he's a nightmare to contain when attacking downhill. A 280-pound wrecking ball who can handle like a wing and finish in a variety of ways. When Davis gives him some space, he's going to attack it by going right into his chest, setting up some lengthy strides into a soft touch finger roll. And I'm just not sure how you're supposed to approach defending that, because you can't match his physicality without sending him to the free throw line. Another reason you don't want to leave him with too much space is that he's comfortable stepping into long-range jumpers himself, with the size to rise right over the top of any late contests. Naturally, that means defenses are forced to bring in some pretty aggressive help at the nail, so at the very least you can make him pick up his dribble and settle for a mid-range jumper. Not this time though, because that's actually a jump pass to the open Tobias Harris, as he continues to counter everything that the Lakers throw his way. Here's another one where he initiates the offense and is met with that aggressive help from both elbows. Because Christie's more focused on preventing a drive, he's not in position to help when Beverly sets a pin down for Tobias Harris in the corner, but they catch a break as he misses an open three, only for a long rebound to end up back in the hands of Philly and ultimately Joel, who takes advantage by stepping into a top of the key triple. He's such a skilled perimeter creator that they actually had him initiating a majority of the offense in quarter number 3. As soon as he crosses half court, here comes Taurean Prince to park at the elbow. And let's just say that there's a reason coaches teach their players to not help from one pass away. Next time down the floor, it was quite literally the exact same thing. Early help at the nail, a kick to an open DeAnthony Melton, and he's got back-to-back threes. On attempt number 3, the Lakers finally learned their lesson. Russell stays home instead of camping at the elbow, but that just leaves Joel with a ton of space to attack in the middle, his sweet spot. And when he ultimately draws 2 from the opposite wing, that leaves Batum all alone on a cut for Embiid's 11th assist of the game. You want to know how many other times in his career he's had 11 assists? Once, and he did it with more than 8 minutes left in the third quarter. That number doesn't account for the open shots he created that missed, finishing with 20 potential assists. And even that doesn't capture the amount of hockey assists, or times he created an advantage that led to good offense elsewhere. He generated so many shots in his 31 minutes, it's not even funny. When all of these skills come together, like they did in this one, you get this ridiculously versatile super wing big hybrid who can attack you in so many different ways. And that versatility really shines in a set play like this, where Batum sets a decoy cross screen before flashing out to the perimeter so that Joel can battle for position in wide open space. This time he seals off Davis in the low post so fast that Russell can't even come double, catching and immediately turning into a hook shot. They went right back to that exact same play next time down, but instead of a post-up, Joel's gonna come set a ball screen for Batum. Again, you see that gravity, as not a single defender even thinks about picking up Batum on a pull-up jumper. But even that's not enough to stop Joel from crashing the glass for his 4th offensive rebound, which sets up an easy 2. Later in the quarter, they went to it one more time, and it's once again a battle for low post position. Davis does a great job of forcing the catch out near the free throw line, but Joel can just turn and face up from the middle now, jabbing right before attacking left with a 1-dribble pull-up that bounces in with some soft touch. In addition to the 11 dimes, Joel had 30 points and 11 rebounds on 74% true shooting, recording the 6th triple-double of his career. In just the time he spent with Anthony Davis defending, he scored 22 points and assisted on 9 more shots while shooting 85% true shooting, completely dominating that individual matchup. As a result, the Sixers scored an absurd 142.3 offensive rating and blew out their opponent by such a wide margin that Embiid didn't even have to see the floor in the final quarter. We saw the entire arsenal, from post-shot creation to point center, from dominating the offensive glass to stretching the floor as a shooter. He's one of the most skilled players the game has ever seen, and Coach Nick Nurse has implemented an offensive system that runs through him in many different ways. which has helped them to a top 2 offense to start the year. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of Embiid. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.